In this video, we're learning how to read a check and we're going to understand how basic tax deductions work. So let's take a look right here at two things. First, we got a check, or in most cases now, it's a direct deposit slip. The only difference is that a check you have to deposit yourself into the bank once you get a direct deposit slip. The money's already been deposited in your account for you. It's more like a receipt, but it looks exactly the same. So that's right there on the left with Peter Sims. And then below it, we got every check or direct deposit slip comes with an earnings statement, which shows, some more details about your check. So first, let's take a look at an actual check or direct deposit slip. And up in the top right corner, you're going to have the date the check was issued. Then the name of the person receiving the check or institution receiving the check is right there next to pay to the order of. The amount is going to be right there, written in numerical form. And then right below that is going to be, they always write out the money in written form below that as well. So it says $1,441.33. They always do both the numerical and the written amount in checks. The bottom left is going to be the reason for the check. So, this guy works as a recruiter. So the reason for the check is recruiting. And then on the bottom right is going to be the issuer of the check. Usually, the CEO of a company, just like a generic signature right there. So that is what a check or direct deposit slip looks like. And now let's look at what comes with it, which is an earnings statement. So if you just want to cut to the end and just see how much money do I get to put in my bank account, you can blank all that out and only worry about net pay. So if you just want to see what you got paid after taxes, look right there and notice again, that's the same number that's on the check. But if you see here, there's a lot going on here. So we're going to break this up by sections. So this top section is going to be basic info and payment dates. This middle section here on the left is going to be current pay rate and hours worked. This section here on the right, this one in red is taxes and deductions. And then the bottom left is going to be year-to-date pay and deductions. And the bottom right is going to be current check payments and deductions. So this is kind of how this is broken up in terms of sections. And now let's take a look more deeply at each one of these. So let's first look at the top. So again, you just got the name, your social security number, your employee ID. So this guy is the 163rd employee at the company. And then the check number is the amount of checks the company has written out. So they've written out, this is the 4,713th check they've written. The pay record, that's like the period of time that you're being paid for. And then the pay date is when they actually sent out the check. So the top part's all just basic info and payment dates. Now let's take a look at current pay rate and hours worked. So this is where it's going to just break it down. So your hourly pay is right there. So he's paid $25 per hour. And then the hours worked is going to be in the next column. It says hours 80. So that means he worked 80 hours this week. And then to find out how much money that translates into, you just go pay rate 25 times hours worked 80. So that's going to be $2,000, which goes up right there. So that's how that section works. If it is a salary, like you're just paid a set amount each month, that will also be in this section. So now let's take a look at what is taken out of your paycheck. And again, this is where all the taxes and deduction go in this next red section right here. So let's take a look at it in more detail. So deductions, that essentially just means taxes. So deductions means taxes. And if you look at, you got two columns here. The current, that is the taxes that are being taken out in this paycheck. So let's take a look at that. So federal tax, $316.11 taken out. California state tax, $71.56 taken out. $18 for SDI tax. $124 for Social Security tax, and then $29 for health insurance tax. So if you add all those up, that's going to be $558.67 taken out of Peter Sim's paycheck for taxes. If you want to look at the year to date, that's all the amount of taxes have been taken out for the entire year. So again, this check is the period of June 4th. So that's going to be all the taxes that's been taken out up to this point. And if you tally those up, it's going to be $6,704.04 taken out for this point in the year. So that's where all the taxes are. So now let's take a look at the last two sections, the year-to-date pay and deductions. And so, again, a few things to note here. YTD, that means year-to-date. So where you see YTD, that means year-to-date. Gross pay is going to be your total payment before taxes are taken out. And then you got net pay, that's the important one. That's payment after the taxes are taken out. So let's take a look at Peter's year-to-date gross and net and deductions. So year-to-date gross, so that's going to be $24,000 the company has paid him this year. The deductions, so that means $6,704.04, how we did that earlier. That's how much has been taken out. So if you want to see his net pay, you just go the gross pay minus the deductions. So that means he's had $17,296.96 actually deposited in his bank account. That's the net pay after we take out all the deductions for the entire year. And then finally, let's take a look at the current check payment and deductions. It's going to be the same thing. So the current total, again, we did that in the rate times hours, was paid $2,000 in this paycheck. We calculated the deductions. He had $558.67 taken out. So you just subtract that, and that's going to be his net pay, $1,441.33. So I hope this video helps and you now understand how to read an earnings statement and a check.